What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to be checking out all of the latest and greatest reveals which have just dropped to coincide with the release of the upcoming Transformers 1 animated movie. Yesterday, the very first teaser trailer for that film did drop, and unfortunately I never got around to reacting to it, mainly because I was wrapping up filming on my Magmatron review, which should hopefully go live after this video is published, so definitely be sure to watch out for that. But back to the teaser trailer, I was seriously impressed with the footage that we were shown. First of all, the animation style, I think, is sick. I really couldn't have asked for anything better. It kind of reminded me a lot of Transformers Prime just on steroids. I think for the most part all of the designs look excellent. The only thing which bugged me a tiny bit was that I do find the actual faces of the Transformers to be a little too humanoid in comparison to mechanized. Now, I kind of understand as to why they've gone down this route. It's probably to show way more emotion to appeal to a slightly younger audience, but I did just think it was a little uncanny. It kind of reminded me of Transformers Earthspark. The other thing which I really weren't too thrilled about would be the voice of D16, so the younger version of Megatron. Towards the opening shot, I just really didn't think it gelled too well with the character, whereas on the other hand, I thought Chris Hemsworth did a banging job as Orion Pax, and I am wondering if he will also stick around for Optimus Prime, because there is a shot in this trailer where Optimus Prime just kind of swing down. He's got the Matrix of Leadership packed beneath his windshield, and we also do get a pretty awesome glimpse of Megatron, which looks sick, and I'm wondering if we are going to see Optimus Prime and Megatron battle it out towards the end of the movie, because that is going to be seriously awesome. But definitely super exciting times ahead. Us Transformers fans have been after a full-blown animated movie which has been based on Cybertron for years, and lo and behold, this September it will finally drop. So I'm definitely really hyped for this. I also loved that very brief snippet that we saw of Starscream, Shockwave and Soundwave. Honestly guys, I'm going to go ahead and say it, I don't think there has ever been a bad design for Shockwave, as he looked freaking badass. And talking of badass, there was one killer shot in the trailer where Elita 1 is transforming, backflipping, taking a blaster and absolutely blasting the crap out of some very Transformers Prime inspired Veercons, which I thought looked epic. So roll on September. I'm definitely super hyped for this movie. And of course, Hasbro weren't too far behind on the reveals, because they too also teased some upcoming products that we can expect to see to coincide with this movie. So first of all, we have the Transformers 1 2-in-1 transformable mask. So to begin with, we had the B127 mask, which unfortunately is super lackluster, because this is just a straight repack of the Transformers Rise of the Beast Bumblebee mask, although I never got around to reviewing that, so maybe this will be my second opportunity. It looks decent, but it is a Rise of the Beast Bumblebee. Unfortunately, it is not B127, but then we turn to the Optimus Prime mask, which I actually think looks kind of cool. So when it comes to the mask detail itself, I love the mouthpiece, and the robot mode doesn't look bad. I mean, it's not the best thing in the world, but in its defense, it does have to transform into a wearable mask, and I love the concept of these. I thought they were a really clever idea when Rise of the Beast rolled around. You know, I did check out their Optimus Primal mask, and to be honest, I was actually quite impressed with it. So we'll most definitely be checking out this Optimus Prime / Orion Pax. And of course, what movie line would be complete without the return of the iconic Titan Changers? So to begin with, we have the Mega Changer Bumblebee / B127. This is a brand new mold. I won't be checking this out. I've never really thought these looked all that great. There will then be a Mega Changers Megatron. Now, this is the same one that we saw for Rise of the Beasts, and I do believe is a repack of the Transformers Cyberverse Titan Changer. So that is super damn lazy. No proper D16 to go with this lineup, and the same could also be said for Starscream. I also believe this too is based on his Cyberverse design in comparison to the movie design. Although, rounding this size class off, there will be a brand new Optimus Prime, so at least Prime and Bumblebee haven't been given the short end of the stick. But now we get stuck into the meat and potatoes, the real reason why us collectors are probably excited for this upcoming Transformers 1 movie line. We have the Prime Changers, which I believe is pretty much just a basic term for a deluxe class, so much like the mainline deluxes which we just saw for Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And to be honest with you, I actually thought some of the deluxe counterparts were even better than their Studio Series releases, so I wonder if that will also be the case here for Transformers 1. Up first, we have Alpha Trion, a character who we did see in the trailer. I'm gonna say it guys, I loved Alpha Trion's design. His robot mode looked awesome, and to be honest, this figure does a really neat job at kind of capturing that. I love the head sculpt, the articulation again appears to be pretty decent. That is seriously an awesome design, and this also gives us our very best look at what Alpha Trion will transform into, and it looks like a unicorn. There really is no beating around the bush. It's kind of a Cybertronian mechanized unicorn. It's got this massive blade sticking out of its head, which which I imagine will look pretty awesome on screen, but when it does come to a figure, it does come across as being a little goofy, but I do really like the colours. And then finally, to kind of round off the mainline reveals completely, we have the Prime Changer Optimus Prime. I do believe this is Optimus Prime and not Orion Pax, but the design looks pretty sweet. I love how the Energon axe actually has his fingers kind of wrapped around the bulb piece at the base, really giving you the impression that much like in G1, this has transformed out of the forearm. And the robot mode looks decent. I can't say looks as good as Alpha Trion. It seems like he will be lacking ankle articulation, and he definitely doesn't seem to have any wrist rotation, but a really sweet looking robot mode and definitely a promising Cybertronian truck form. And then finally, rounding things off completely for the Transformers Movie 1 toys so far, we have our very first look at the upcoming Studio Series Deluxe Class 112 Optimus Prime. So, our very first proper collector-orientated release, and this looks banging. So, this is the very first Deluxe Optimus Prime I believe we've ever seen for Studio Series, and I like that he is a Deluxe Class. You know, it makes sense that because this is kind of an origin story, he would be significantly smaller in comparison to how he eventually does look once he crash lands on Earth, whether it be for Bumblebee, Rise of the Beast, or the Michael Bay live action movies. And when it comes to the robot design, I think he looks pretty sweet. I can't say that I'm crazy about the colour of beige plastic they've used. Whether or not this is accurate to the movie remains to be seen, but it definitely does look a little peculiar. And one thing I have noticed is that this Optimus Prime is also sporting an Energon axe and not the more traditional ion blaster. So I am wondering if this will be his primary weapon in the movie, and if it is, then we can definitely expect some proper hand-to-hand combat. I cannot wait to see Prime whoop Megatron's butt. And the truck mode here also looks pretty sweet. We did get a really good glimpse of this in the teaser trailer. I like how the smokestacks of the shoulders kind of flip around to transform into these proper Cybertronian blasters. He's packing 4 on the front, so will most definitely be a force to be reckoned with. Although one thing that I thought was super interesting is the second we flip the box around to the back, bang! This Optimus Prime will also include the Matrix of Leadership, which for a deluxe class I thought was really awesome. So you will be able to remove the Matrix of Leadership. It also seems as if though this Optimus Prime will actually be able to hold it despite being a deluxe class. So overall right now, this Transformers 1 movie line I think is looking super promising, and for this being the very first Studio Series reveal, I'm now super excited to see the likes of Bumblebee, D16, and of course Sentinel Prime. Again, roll on September. And then finally, wrapping up on this video completely, we have our very first look at the upcoming Transformers movie masterpiece, MPM-15 Decepticon BRAWL, based on the original 2007 movie, and this is without any doubt the biggest drop for us Bayformer fans this year, and BRAWL looks amazing. Easily the best looking BRAWL that we've ever seen based on the film. I think when it comes to the robot mode, it literally looks identical to the CG design, and I'm also really liking the battle damage, which you can see scattered throughout the chest piece. The jaw will also be able to open and close, so you'll be able to recreate his final seconds of screen time where he does get brutally blasted in the chest by Bumblebee and is kind of screaming just before he drops to the ground. I'm also really digging his weaponry, so he does appear to include that massive bayonet, the machine gun, the 2 brutal missile pods over the shoulder, and that massive railgun, which I think looks really awesome. I'm also liking how they've kind of streamlined this guy's design. You know, he's way slimmer in comparison to the Studio Series version or even the original 2007 leader class, and he is packing probably some of the best blast effects that we've ever seen from a Hasbro and Takara release. Seriously, these things look epic, and I'm not sure if it's because I'm kind of used to the same old rinse and repeated siege blast effects, but these things look banging, especially the ones which you can attach onto the missiles. He even comes with a massive one which you can attach onto the chest, again to recreate his death from the movie. So I thought that was pretty cool. As we spin this sucker around to the back, I really like how they have been able to compress that main tank turret. Unfortunately, that has been something which has plagued pretty much all of the BRAWL figures based on this movie, so that's pretty sweet to see. And the second that we transform this guy into the tank mode, I think it looks pretty awesome. Unfortunately, you can still clearly see the top of the head, and that was an issue which we have also seen with the Studio Series version and the original 2007 leader. And for a masterpiece, if they were to have added a panel, would have that been too much to ask for? I seriously don't think so, because without any doubt at all, this thing is going to retail for roughly £175 to £200. So I do wish maybe they could have concealed that, but besides that tiny issue that I have, this guy looks absolutely awesome, and I seriously cannot wait to check it out. So overall, some pretty intense drops over the past couple of days, and we are only getting started when it comes to that Transformers 1 movie line. They've only revealed a handful of toys, and judging by the Transformers Rise of the Beast toy line, there will be many more to come. So I would love to get your guys' thoughts down below, both on the trailer, the toys, and the reveal of the movie masterpiece BRAWL. What do you guys think? I want to thank you all so much for watching, and until my next video, transform and roll out!